This is where the fun begins.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Say my name.
And here we go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Whiplash. I am Derrick.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Matt.
Yes, and Bianca is not with us today. She's under the weather today, so we we just want to send Bianca well wishes and can't wait for her to come back. But before we get into everything, this episode is being brought to you guys by Champ #1 Boxers, the most comfortable boxers you will ever wear. Please go ahead and check them out. You can go through the link in our bio on all social media platforms to make your purchase. By doing that, you subscribe. You actually support 2 Black-owned businesses. So please go ahead, get something for the champion in your life, as well as check out all OTS content under the platform. Go to the website otsmediaco.com. Check us out on all social media platforms at otsmediaco, as well as YouTube, OTS Media. If you have not done so yet, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell every time we upload. You'll be helping us, get some stuff going on with the algorithm. That's the biggest fight today is the algorithm and COVID, I guess. So. So those are the biggest fights we have in 2022.
Monkeypox too, apparently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about monkeypox. Yeah. I'm not around people like that, so I'm not. I'm so good. Yeah, I'm so good.
Sanitize.
Just bought some more sanitizer this morning.
Yeah.
Oh man, but what's been going on, bro?
Man, nothing much. It's good to see you. I think it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
We've recorded. I know we obviously kept in touch outside of the podcast and stuff, but it's obviously good to get back into swinging things again.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So actually, I don't think we haven't asked this question in a while, but what have you been watching?
Whew, I'm glad you asked that because I thought about that too. Well, we talked about doing it for a review, but not doing it. Watch Prey and that new movie on Netflix with Jamie Foxx, Day Shift. Watch both of those. Prey was cool. I'm not into that whole series, so I didn't really care about it too much. But I thought the action sequences were pretty good. It's just it was predictable. The movie was predictable, but I didn't expect for her to. And if you haven't watched Prey, please fast forward this part. I'll give you a little time to do that. But I didn't expect for her to. Well, I didn't expect for him to get caught in a quicksand. You know what's interesting though? I thought about that. Where has quicksand gone? Did that hit you when you were watching this?
Oh, when Naru was.
When he was caught,
the thing where like Naru was like caught in like the quick. Yeah.
Does quicksand exist anymore?
I don't know. I feel like that's an underutilized like element in most movies. But obviously I don't think we grew up in places where quicksand was a thing.
Oh no, clay down here.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was my biggest thought of that whole movie. It was like, does quicksand still exist? Outside of that, the movie was like, it was cool. It wasn't like something I needed to, write home about.
Right.
It was all right. Day Shift was a little subpar. I didn't really think much of either of those films. I know Prey was the highest rating of the whole series, right?
That, and I think the most popular Hulu movie.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. I'm assuming they're gonna come out with another one because of the success. So I don't know where you go from here, but it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I never watched the original Predator movie, so
I didn't really care.
What I appreciated about the film was it wasn't so like persistent on explaining away everything about the
Mm-hmm.
universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything just felt like its own self-contained story that obviously connects. I'm assuming connects back to the original franchise.
Yeah.
Because it is easily very easily could have just been like one of those movies where like every 5 seconds you have someone like somehow a person like there's a huge myth about the predators like they
Mm-hmm.
existed back you know in BC time and ever since
Mm-hmm.
then they've conquered the world and they went extinct and now they
Yeah.
returned to take
Yeah.
over humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like how we saw the predator come to Earth, started slaughtering a bunch of animals and people. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was just like I said, it was a fun action movie.
Yeah.
I don't look back regretting I watched it, but is it something I'll revisit again? Probably not.
Yeah. I'm not watching this again. I'm not watching either one of those movies again.
Yeah,
It was just
I
okay.
think seeing Snoop Dogg in the movie was probably the most interesting thing I've seen in a while. Not sure what your thoughts were about his
It was
appearance.
it was cool. I liked his hat trick, you know.
Yeah.
Um See, I liked him better in Training Day. This was like this was okay. Training Day, he really like he got in his bag with that one. Like
They're
it was
almost wait, Snoop Dogg wasn't Training Day?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, was he really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I think that was Training Day. Yeah. He was in a wheelchair. I forgot what his part was. I believe that was Training Day. Um but I mean he did a good job in that. Outside of that, I can't say wait. See, I didn't watch Soul Plane.
That and I think he started in a few of those scary movies.
Yeah, I don't like scary movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not into it like that. Like I watched him, but like this was just okay. This was okay. It was a good performance from him, but the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
itself was just okay. I wasn't big on it. It didn't matter to me.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
I think, both me and you are sort of tired of, giving subpar reviews or,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, sort of having something negative to say about what we watch all the time.
Yeah.
It gets very draining,
It does. It does.
but the counter to that is I've actually been watching a little something called Game of Thrones. I
You got
watched
into it.
I watched the first 4 seasons. I finished the fourth season yesterday, actually.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. So what are your thoughts on it so far?
So what I'll say is, it's probably among the worst writing I ever heard. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I can definitely see why this is helmed as like one of the best television shows of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the performances, set design, costumes, um, script writing for obvious reasons. I
Mm-hmm.
think it, a show like Game of Thrones is almost impossible to accomplish when you don't have the right writers, or should be impossible to accomplish when you don't have the right writers on board.
Mm-hmm.
Because with how many storylines they're juggling around,
Yeah.
it I'm pretty sure like I'm trying to find a way to say this, but like I can't imagine what it's like to speak to the actors and be like, hey, just so you know, you're not gonna show up for an entire season. You'll be back in season 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes storylines, like there are many storylines, like Brand's storyline, for example. Sorry, I'm going all over the place.
No, no,
But
no. I mean,
Brand's
that
storyline,
was the show. So
I think, is so uninteresting because I don't know what it's leading to. Like his storyline feels so detached from everything else.
hmm
Arya's is literally Arya's storyline to this point has literally been her roaming around with two separate people. And then it took her until season 4 to finally make her way towards Bravos
hmm
or whatnot to meet up with like the faceless man or
Yes.
whatnot.
Yes. Okay, you're at that part.
And then yeah, so those are my two least interesting storylines. Sansa's storyline, I sort of like I put quotes where I liked. I don't like seeing characters suffer, but like seeing her obviously go through her own like struggles,
hmm
being tormented by Joffrey, and obviously being helmed as the daughter of a traitor isn't
hmm
exactly, very good.
Yeah.
And to see her finally escape King's Landing after Joffrey's death, which I found to be the most satisfying scene in that entire show.
Was that not
I
amazing?
I literally I like I said, I don't go around parading people's deaths, but that
Mhm.
like when I saw him get poisoned, I said, "Thank God!"
Yeah.
Like literally,
Yeah.
and the best part too is because this is obviously Game of Thrones covers a lot of themes, and
Mhm.
one of them is very like obviously they covered this theme of misogyny, right? Because women are often treated lesser to their counterparts, and more often than not, you have a lot of characters say that dying to poison is basically like almost like a woman's way of going out, which is totally illogical.
Yeah.
So in many ways, it's more not only did Joffrey die at his own wedding, but he died in a way like in the most embarrassing way possible. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because like I
Mhm.
said, like men view themselves as mostly superior to women,
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
idea that he died in that way in front of everyone
Yeah.
is probably the best fate I've ever seen a character be given. It was utterly satisfying.
That show is amazing, man.
Yeah.
That show's amazing. So you just finished season 4. You're going into season 5.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
last part of season 4, remind me what happened.
So I know like in a finale episode,
Yeah.
so Tyrion killed Tywin and Shay.
Oh
Lord Varys is his name. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
yeah.
Went with him on the ship for
Yes.
whatever reason. I'm assuming they'll probably explain that
Mhm.
next season. And then I'm trying to know what else to remember. Stannis and Bravos went to the wall because of the red woman. I forgot like what I think the problem with the show sometimes it gets very overwhelming. So I literally have to remember like
Yes.
one specific scene from like two
Yeah.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
So that's why I kept having to like rewatch those like quick recaps or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and then obviously I said is going to Bravos or whatnot. And then I'm trying to remember what else. The last thing we saw of Sansa was like in episode 8, and then she's leaving with Lord Baelish. I don't know what's going on there. That's just weird.
Keep watching.
Yeah, and then trying to think. Oh, Brienne and Arya.
Yes. Yes.
Sort of interact like met for the first time. Her and the Hound got into a huge fight. I'm assuming the Hound isn't dead because the rule of thumb is you don't see a character die on screen.
Yeah. That's a good
They may
point.
be alive or
That's a
not.
good
I
point.
mean, this show is unpredictable as it is.
It is it is unpredictable. So I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not going to confirm or deny. Just keep
Fair
watching
enough.
it. It is very very good. But you are coming to the end of it being good.
Am I? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that and
Yeah.
that's the thing I want to like publicly address. I'm not watching anymore, and the only reason is because the original author George R. R. Martin
Mm-hmm.
was no longer attached to the show
Mm-hmm.
after season 4,
Yeah.
and we've spoken about this many times where there's nothing wrong with certain creator or certain directors, writers, etc., taking creative liberties with
Mm-hmm.
the original source material.
Yeah.
But if you're totally abandoning it in favor of something, worse,
Mm-hmm.
then
I'll
you're
put
better off just adapting every element of the source material.
I'll put it like this. It's still good. Season 6 is when it's like it stops being really good. Season 7 is still good. Season Those are season 8, right? I think that's what it was. But the last 2 seasons are just kind of like, you know, cover your
Yeah.
eyes but look through your fingers type of thing.
So,
Um
yeah, I don't
that
mean
last season you don't need to see though. Just watch the
I'm
recap of
just
the last season. Don't
I'm just gonna admit it. So after I finished season 4, I looked ahead just to see what the
oh,
fuss was about. I looked ahead and I saw season 8. I was like, okay, let me see if it has 10 episodes. They did 6 episodes.
yeah.
And this is coming from like I said, there's a lot of storylines I don't know. I don't know about yet. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm counting at minimum 10 storylines.
Oh, I already know one that
running
you've spoken about that is not addressed. And
fully. Is it like the Red Woman?
I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh,
But
but
there is
no, you,
one
you
that
can tell
you
me because I'm not gonna watch it henceforth. But
no.
oh, are you talking about the Nightwalkers?
No. I will explain to you after season 7.
Oh well, I'm not gonna watch it, so maybe I'll never know.
No, watch up to season 7. Like, I'm serious. Like up to season
Yeah,
7 is still watchable and enjoyable. Season 8 is when it's a complete disaster.
yeah.
Season 8 was so rushed, and the thing that sucks about it too is we waited for a long time for season 8 to come out. It was
What
a
was
long time. Oh God, I
the
want to
year
say it was
between how many years between
I
seven
want
and
to say it was like a year and a half, something like that, of waiting between 7 and 8. So it's kind of like you're sitting here waiting for this,
climactic ending?
and you get let down, man. You get let down. It's
No,
so
I know
sad.
what happens.
Oh, you do,
I
bro?
do
Why would you do that?
because like I said, I had so the only reason, like I said,
Why would you ruin it for yourself?
no, I want because like I said, I had no desire to watch post
Yeah,
season.
ruin it after season 7, though, is my point.
That's well, then I don't know what. In fairness, though, I don't know the events that lead up to those scenes.
Oh
I
man.
know Arya kills a Nightwalker for whatever reason, and
Oh
they
my
alluded to it in
God, bro.
season 6 or 7 that John was supposed to be the one facing off against him. Which made the most sense actually because he's obviously
Yes.
part of the Night Watch and they're
Yeah.
naturally facing off against Dress from the North, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then they literally get done with that whole like storyline in one episode
Yeah.
when they could have
Yeah.
easily had that last for 3 seasons. That
Oh no,
literally
no,
could
for
have been
real.
3 seasons
Yeah.
or 4 even, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
assuming winter is like I can imagine what it's like. Remember, like even freaking Ned Stark kept saying winter is coming,
Hmm.
right? So winter is coming. Oh wow! So is the entire world going to suffer? I'm assuming all 7 kingdoms are going to have to come together to face off against this single threat, right? And that could like that right there, like the White Walk. I'm assuming that's the end season 7, but like the White Walkers entering Westeros for the first time, like
Hmm.
getting past the wall, that right there literally should have led into like a 4 season epic, literally. And he focused an entire
It's
season on the White Walkers because the problem to this point is I don't feel like the White Walkers to me aren't very intimidating, to tell you the truth. And in
hmm
fairness, though, there are obviously a lot of scenes I haven't technically watched yet.
hmm
But when you have like, I'm assuming they're meant to be like this huge threat. Obviously, they're an undead
Yeah.
army.
Yeah.
Apparently, White Walker could put a single finger up to a baby and turn it into a White Walker.
Mm.
But it's one of those things where it like I feel like the show is better off this focus like center. Like I don't know. It feels like there should be 2 separate shows, like one that focuses on like the power struggles between kings or queens, and then
Hmm.
another show that focuses more on the supernatural element. So I'm talking about dealing with brands sixth sense,
Yes.
whatever you want to
Yes.
call it. The
Yes.
White Walkers finally entering Westeros for the first time.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can even put King Daenerys in that first show I mentioned. I know she obviously has dragons, but I'm assuming she killed 2 of them when she trapped them inside that cellar or whatnot. And then her
Mm.
one that's still roaming around, killing innocent children and sheep and stuff. So sorry, I know we kind of like linger on this
No. I
for a
look.
while now, but
You're going to watch up till 7. You will enjoy it. I promise. Up till 7, it's good. Even though they're not citing from the source material, it is still good. But this is the reason why I'm excited for House of the Dragon, because the showrunners from Game of Thrones are not attached to this project, which I still haven't been able to watch the news that first episode, but um, that's the prequel series. So you could technically watch that
yeah, because they've
while you're
sort of
watching
prepped
this.
in a bit of that history. Because I know, like,
Yeah,
the Mad King was a Targaryen, I'm assuming, the
yeah,
one that Jaime
yeah,
Lannister killed,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
is that show? Because I keep hearing the show set 100 years before Game of Thrones, right? So
Hmm.
this is dealing with like
Totally new.
a whole different era of Targaryens,
Yeah,
back when
yeah.
dragons existed. Okay,
Yes,
I got
yes,
you.
yes,
But
yes.
there's a chance they could like their final season could lead up into.
I think so. Like I'm assuming they're going to go talk about the Mad King. I don't know about I don't know what the premise is of this show outside of it being a prequel
Right.
and there actually being black people in there. That's all I know about this new series.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure as to what path they're on with it, but I'm assuming we're going to see the Mad King in this series. So I would suggest watching it hand in hand because
yeah,
you're going to get a different experience watching it like that than everyone else who has already watched Game of Thrones. Like
yeah.
I actually feel like going back and watching Game of Thrones after this. I think after this season of House of Dragon, I think I'm going to start Game of Thrones again.
Think so.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. But we'll
Season 8.
see, man. Season 8 is done. I that is, oh my god, bro. I've gone back and watched different shows like again, Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad. There was something else.
I heard Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. Is that one that's up your mind?
I keep hearing about that. I have not watched Breaking Bad. I
Okay.
mean, Better Call Saul. I started it and then I was like, because I started it right when Breaking Bad ended. Like
Oh,
I watched Breaking Bad
literally two
live.
years after. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it after live. So once Breaking when Better Call Saul came out, um, I forgot some of the things that took place in Breaking Bad, and I was like, whatever. I'm not really into. I watched like a few. I think I watched majority of the first season, and I was like, whatever.
That happened to me. I watched the full first season, but I heard season 3 is when they really start like interweaving
Yeah, they
Breaking Bad.
of course you have to build up, and that was the thing that sucked. Is I think when I started that's when streaming was already like coming into its
Oh yeah. 2015. I
thing.
probably won that.
Yeah, so I was like, I watched it some other time, and then I just never got into it. But my dad was even just telling me about it. Yeah, you need to watch it because I'm a big Breaking Bad fan.
Me too.
And then I watched El Camino, and I was like, y'all could have kept that. That was horrible. I did not need to see that.
Wait, really? You didn't like El Camino?
I hated El Camino
Why?
because this is supposed to be like a day, like the same day as the series ended, right?
Uh,
Everybody looks 15 years older and fatter. Like,
that
really? The same day, bro?
be prepared for Better Call Saul. I'll put it this way. I'm willing to okay. This is how I usually. All right, hold on. Give me a moment. I'm gonna try to defend this
There's no
for
defending
1
El
second.
Camino, bro.
Okay, here's my defense to it. Right, in the world, right, like in the universe or whatever, characters see a young Jesse Pinkman, but as the audience member, we see them as older. That's the only explanation.
No,
I know it's
because
stupid.
no,
I know it's stupid.
I forgot that one guy's name. But he looked like he was in his 40s by the time, and this took place where everybody was like in high school, college. Like Jesse wasn't even believable as a high school kid. You see what I'm saying? Like he really wasn't believable. He was kind of believable. You put a little Scully on him and everything like that. Yeah, all right, you could dumb it down a little
Yeah,
bit, age him down. But as the series progresses, he starts to grow a beard, and it's like, all right, now he's college age. Cool. I can believe that. But El Camino, I'm supposed to believe that this is still college age Jesse?
or literally right after he escapes the compound.
Come
Yeah,
on,
that's
bro.
fair. So
Come
was that like
on.
that was your main issue because it was sort of hard to break away
It's
from the
hard
fact
to
that
break
these
away from that.
actors.
Yeah, I don't want to
I
like
understand.
El Camino should have been made 8 years ago
When he acted for young.
when they
Yeah.
looked the same. And I would have been
But
okay with that.
now at his core though, like did you like the story of what they were going for?
No,
Like how the flashbacks were
I
utilized?
didn't need it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't need it. I didn't need it. That was like such a money grab. I did not need that. And Brian Cranston is wearing a ball cap.
Okay, yes.
Bro,
Okay, yes. That ball
come
cap
on,
did
man.
not look very good,
No,
actually.
no,
But
no. I
you
don't
have
want
to
to see
admit
that.
that that movie was well shot, well lit, and
It
well acted.
does not make up for it being like horrible. Well shot, well lit, horribly executed. That was not that was not a good movie.
Wow, that's
I will
insane. I think
never watch that again.
did you talk to John about it? Because I think I don't know if he called it
Mm-mm.
straight horrible, but I know he didn't really
I didn't
like it
talk to
that
him
much.
about it. No, I didn't talk
Yeah.
to him about it. But I'm sure he didn't like it because that was a waste of my time. I was literally sitting here watching it, and as when the because I don't watch trailers. So when opening credits started, I'm like, okay, I I didn't know this was to take place like right then. I'm thinking this is I'm thinking
Oh,
we're fast forwarding
going
down the
like 10 years in
timeline.
the future. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, that's why I was excited for. I said, oh, we can see what's going on with Jesse. Cool. He got away. He's alive. Cool. But once I started seeing that this is the same day, the beginning of the thing, I'm thinking, okay, this is a flashback. No, we're here. This is where we are. This is where the movie takes place.
So
Nah,
you
man.
would have excused it if they were older in flashbacks?
Yes, I would have excused it because I'm like, okay, you know what? I get it. We're
And
10
they
now
also
10
can't
years
afford the
after.
de-aging
You
effects. Right. Okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the fact that like they looked both the same in the flashbacks and the present was off-putting to you.
Bro,
Or
everything was
well, I want to say
off-putting
off,
for
well,
me.
everything was off-putting, but definitely distracting.
Yes. Yes. It pissed
Okay.
me off. It really
I
pissed me off.
understand. I,
It
I,
really so I don't even care what story they were trying to tell because I was so distracted by what I was seeing. I couldn't even pay attention to what they were trying to say.
wow. That's a shame.
It was that bad.
Hurt my soul. Well, then again, I called The Last of Us Part 2 one of the worst stories in the past decade. So I think it's only fair you
Oh yeah, I'm taking my shots.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was horrible. That was horrible. They did not need that. It just screamed a money grab because they knew everybody that was a fan of Breaking Bad was going to watch that, and we did.
I liked it, you know. Um
If you like that, then you should have
yeah.
liked the Gray Man, bro. Like that's like the Gray Man had less mistakes than that.
Whoa, what?
The Gray
No,
Man has
no, we're not
significantly
going.
less mistakes
No,
than that.
no,
You
no.
can
One,
I can,
I can't.
you can't ignore the aging aspect
You,
of this
wait, what are you talking about? Oh,
of
okay, gotcha.
El Camino. You can't ignore that and then go at the Gray Man for for the green screen.
No,
It's execution on both
that's
parts,
a false equivalence actually because you're talking about like real life people versus a fake background. You know what I mean?
bro. It's
Eh,
execution on both ends. That's my
right,
point.
right. So exit on both ends, but with okay, all right.
You can't be okay with this and not okay with that.
Okay, so the only reason why is because you have to take into account. I'm not sure like what the budget was for El Camino. We can look it up. You know, I'll look it up right now. I'll look at the budget for El
Please,
Camino, and I'll look up.
please.
We already know what the budget for Gray Man is, 200 plus million, right? So El
Yeah. El
Camino.
Camino is somewhere around there. I guarantee it is. Because Brian Cranston ain't working for something
No, there's no way it is.
pennies.
It was literally 6 mil.
No, it wasn't. El
It was a little
Camino?
over. Yeah, El Camino was a little over 6 mil.
Well, it looked like it.
What? No. All right.
It
All right.
looked like it.
No
It looked
way.
like
No
it.
shot. No shot.
Yeah.
Right. If a $200 million movie, right, looks like, you know what? I think that's probably why they call it the Gray Man, apparently, because their entire world is literally gray. Bruce Brothers have adopted the style where color grading does apparently colors do not exist, and they tell the
Mm.
cinematographers or whoever else is involved, hey, listen, don't bother color grading those scenes because it's going to be very difficult for us to put in very poor looking visual effects because we're going to be working those artists to the very
Mm-hmm.
last minute. You look at El Camino, right, where they had limited resources at their disposal and they wanted to tell a fitting end for Jesse's character.
We
It
didn't
worked
need it.
effectively.
We didn't need it.
I'll put it this way: it's not the story we needed, but it's the story we wanted.
We
I
did
think
not
most yes,
know.
I think most people
For
wanted
what?
Jesse to see
Bro, this
a
guy Todd.
satisfying end to his character. I can't believe this is like the first time we're getting into intense debate. I like this.
This guy Todd. Okay, you remember him in this show?
Yes, I know where you're. Yes, I know what you're referring to. He looked very different than he did back in the original
Very
series.
different. He
I'm
looked like his
willing
own
to forgive
father.
that. I'm willing to forgive it. I'm willing to forgive it.
How? How do you forgive that?
Okay, one, I'm not going to fault the actor for gaining a bunch of weight,
I don't
and at the
fault him for
same time,
gaining weight, but you
what
could have shot this 10 years ago when he looked the same.
we can do
For
realize
6 mil?
those
For
kinds of
6 mil?
ideas. Yeah, 6 mil. I think most
Bro,
television
if
episodes traditionally
if
cost that much, but
that's what I'm saying. If the movie costs the same as the show, you can't tell me that a year after the show ended, they didn't think about El Camino.
not necessarily because like Aaron Paul wasn't like particularly interested. I mean, he obviously wanted to work with Vince Gilligan again,
What the hell
but I
else did
think
he
he also
do? Need for
said
Speed?
like afterwards. I think he's
Yeah,
done.
Need for
I
Speed.
can't remember his filmography. I know he's done like Westworld since. I
Westworld,
think
he's good in Westworld. I'm not saying he's a bad actor,
yeah. I'm not
but
saying bad actor, but you're
I'm
saying like what
saying
if
he
he's
was
done.
available though. He was available at that point to do the movie.
But Vince Gilligan probably because I think Vince Gilligan went straight into conceptualizing Better Call Saul. So his first instinct wasn't going to be, hey, let's make a continuation to the original series. Let's give the viewers added context as to how this whole story came to be. And you actually look at Better Call Saul, or whenever you do get a chance to watch it, because I'm about to do the same. I'm going to restart.
Mm.
I have a lot of feeling that certain aspects of Breaking Bad are going to be put into perspective. And even though it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very
probably.
difficult to sort of like make a very intense story because we know the fates of a lot of these characters. Gus can't die, Mike can't die, Saul can't
Right,
die.
right.
But a lot of these new characters that are introduced, you sort of have to find a way for audiences to care about them, but also think, okay, are they dead or do they, move on somehow?
For
Move
sure, for sure,
away from their life. And
for sure.
to my knowledge, I would say I can't. I don't like using other people's opinions to say if a show is good, but generally speaking, I've heard that the show has succeeded in that regard and crafting well-written characters.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about freaking El Camino, which is a very good movie in and of itself. I'm not saying it's a
No.
masterpiece by any means,
Mm.
but given that I'm assuming that Better Call Saul is probably in that $1 million, like in that 6 to let's say $10 million range per episode. I don't know what their exact budget is, right? It's safe to
Mm.
like, in my personal opinion, I think cinematography wise, directing wise, Vince Gilligan is one of the greatest talents we currently have. Period. In terms of sheer writing, directing, when he chooses to direct, because I know usually he hands it off to his frequent collaborators.
Mm.
I think the film accomplished what it set out to do. It was to obviously
To
make
get money.
it into everything's made to get money. It just depends on
Yeah,
how
it
much
was a cash
passion and
grab.
effort you
That's
put
my
in.
point. That movie was a cash grab.
I mean, not necessarily. I'm assuming
Yeah, it
Netflix
was. That was lazy as hell, man.
I have full confidence in saying that AMC or Netflix would have never made that movie if Vince Gilligan didn't want to. I
Oh,
don't
for
know who
sure.
approached who.
But it was still a cash grab.
Not necessarily. It could just be a way of Gilligan or even like Aaron Paul, for instance, like having a more cathartic end for his character. I'm sure he thought about Jesse, you know, God knows how long. And it's inevitable too that Jesse and Walter White were going to appear and break in Better Call Saul anyways. Like
For
I've heard
sure.
they do reappear.
For
So it
sure.
makes sense that perhaps like Vince Gilligan, okay, so why not? He's like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can collaborate with Aaron Paul and let's come up with a story that doesn't feel like a cash grab. It's definitely not a cash grab because they could have easily
It
met this.
felt like that to me.
I
That's how
fair enough.
bad it
Yeah.
looked.
It,
That's how
visually, I disagree.
no,
Visually,
no,
it was
no.
great,
Visually, no, I'm saying
oh,
no. What I'm saying, like, okay, cinematography is different than from what I'm talking about in terms of the appearance of characters.
oh, my fault. Sorry, I thought you meant like visually in terms
No,
of
no, no, no,
my fault.
no.
Gotcha, gotcha.
No, cinematography was always it's always good in that world. Vince Gilligan, he puts that world together very well. But Jesse and Todd look like their dads, bro. Like
Yeah, I just
Jesse's friends somewhat look the same, but everybody else just they got older. They look like they're close to a midlife crisis. Like
I
I don't like that. Not when you're just coming out of college. Not
I
not
know
not the
I
next
know
day. That does not make sense.
I,
No.
but
That the disconnect between those two, like I get the story is cool. I'm whatever. But the series finale of Breaking Bad to El Camino, the disconnect of what 10, 12 years? No, that's not believable for the next day. That's not. That's just not. I can forgive the gray man over this. I can like no.
Well, in fairness though, I don't think there's anything to forgive. You know what I mean? Like the
Yes,
gray
there
man.
is. The gray man was the green screen was horrible in a lot of scenes. A lot of things did not make sense. But I thought it was like, you know what? Okay, I can turn my brain off and just watch the movie and enjoy the action sequence.
So you're willing to go
That's
on
what it is.
record and say the gray man is better than El Camino?
Oh, I will watch the gray man again. I'm not watching El Camino ever again.
All right.
I can sit with my girlfriend and watch the gray man and be like, you know what, this is I can enjoy this. El Camino, no, babe, we're not watching this.
Wow.
No.
Has she watched Breaking Bad?
I didn't ask her that yet, but I'll check with her, see if she
I
asks.
think you need more opinions on this case to see if El
Look,
Camino.
we could put out a survey, bro. Everybody's watching and listening.
I'm willing to do it,
Please,
because I'm actually curious because
please.
I've heard people hold that same complaint, but I think for the like, and again, right, like it's hard. I don't like. It's kind of hard to like find an exact number, obviously, because you go into YouTube comments or
Yeah,
comments on any social media platform, right?
yeah.
For especially when it comes to Breaking Bad, I think most of responses are going to be generally positive. But I'm sure like
For
a fair for Breaking for like El Camino, definitely El Camino.
you think oh,
That
okay.
comments were generally positive. Yeah, I would say so. People still complain about like the appearances of Todd, Jesse, etc. But I think like given what they were setting out to do and the actual story in and of itself, they were looking to. My understanding is, I think most people were looking to ignore it altogether and say, "Look, it is what it is.
Nope.
The actors can't de-age themselves naturally or
Yeah,
miraculously
but
in a
there's
period of
still
time." You know,
technology that allows you to de-age.
true, but I mean, that's
And they
It's $6 million though, and they literally did. I'm assuming they didn't have a lot of money. They definitely didn't have a lot of money.
how about this?
No,
And this goes for life, right? If you can't afford it, don't buy it. So if you can't afford to do something well, don't do it. Don't do it. The movie was not necessary. I did not need to see that. I could have watched Breaking Bad and let Breaking Bad be Breaking Bad and then go right into Better Call Saul and be okay with Better Call Saul. Like El Camino was absolute
so
garbage.
the reason why
Trash.
I think I'm more so trying to convince you is that with that being your main problem, you're probably not gonna like Better Call Saul because a lot of the actors look way older than they did in the original series.
I'm sure they do.
You
I'm
know what
sure
I
they
mean?
do. But the thing is, the difference is those characters weren't high school kids.
Jesse wasn't a high school kid. He was a high school
Jesse,
dropout. I think he was in. He was no. He was in his mid.
yeah,
Mid
but that's
twenties,
what
right?
no. He Walter White was his high school teacher. That was his science teacher.
Oh yeah. Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So like going from there into the finale of Breaking Bad, at that point he's college age. He's college age. So he's around your age, bro. He's supposed to be your age in El Camino. Does that not bother you?
No, hold on. Let me look up Jesse Pinkman's canonical age. Hold on.
He may have been
Jesse
around like 24. But
Pinkman's age. Okay. 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 He's supposed. Wait. Hold on. Wait. No, he's not. He's 50 years old.
yes, that's my point.
Wait.
Right now, he has gray hair in his beard, bro. I kid you not.
Wait. Hold on. Just one second. Because they're saying Jesse is 50. What? No, that's not true.
Aaron Paul is around 50.
Okay, it's my fault. So he would have been 24 at the start of Breaking Bad. He was 24, and then yeah, so he'd be 25 on the brink of 26.
Looking like he it's time for him to go to start working toward having grandkids and you know, like living the next part of his life.
All right.
He looked like he should have been driving an RV at that point.
It's up to personal opinion, you know.
The movie was not good, bro. It was a waste of time.
I don't know.
That was a waste of time, waste of money. We did not need to see that. I was perfectly fine with believing he was in his 20s at the end of the series. I was okay with that.
Right.
Because I knew at that point he was around 35, close to 40. I'm like, all right, we could.
Yeah. The thing is, we can't really convince each other. Like, it's one of those points where, like, it's either you like it or you don't.
Yeah.
Because both of us agree. Everything you said is absolutely like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just didn't let that affect my viewing experience because I'm aware of what the circumstances were surrounding the movie. Like, you know what I mean?
This is not like we had COVID delays. That's my problem. If we had COVID delays back then, like around the beginning of breaking of Better Call Saul, and that's when they were trying to get everything going with El Camino, I could understand it and let it go. I can't let this go right now, bro. Like, no. COVID happened like 4 years later.
You meet Aaron Paul one day and says, "Hey, what he does on El Camino?"
If I meet him in person
and say, "Hey, do you like El Camino?
Love your work, but I hated El Camino."
Oh, all right.
I'm keeping that same energy. I respect keeping that same energy.
I respect
that. Trash.
I respect that.
Because he knows. He knows.
He doesn't know it's bad. He won't admit it's bad though.
He probably won't admit it was bad, but he knows that was not a 20-year-old kid. 26? Come on, bro.
No,
I can show you a picture of what I like when I was 26. I didn't look like I was close to 50.
Yeah. No, I respect that, bro. Because you already know a lot of people who like kiss ass. They're like, oh my god, I love Breaking Bad, it's masterpiece. El Camino is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Yeah, no,
I'm not switching up. I'm not switching up. No,
listen, you're a great actor. El Camino, garbage.
Yeah, better. I did not enjoy it. I was glad when he cut the spikes out. Stop spiking the hair up because, he shouldn't have been doing that after a while anyway. So it looked like we were seeing a more mature Jesse at that point. Get it? Cool with that. Loved it.
That's crazy though.
But like father Jesse? We're talking about someone that who looks like they're about to take their kid to college for freshman year. Like, come on, bro. Nah, I can't let that go. I cannot let that go. And Todd looked like he was Todd looked like he was his own father for sure. I am not. I'm supposed to believe he's this little ignorant, little naive kid. That does not make sense. I'm so sorry, but El Camino needs to blow up. That was a horrible execution.
I respect it though. You stick to your guns. I'm shocked though. I did not. Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words to be honest. I really did.
This is totally different than what we were talking about today, but this is hilarious. So it's perfectly fine.
Damn, I can't really. I can't add. Not speechless to be honest. At least we're going to a movie we both like.
Yeah. I apologize.
No, you're all. Hey, look, you need to get me back for the part 2. You waited a month. This was months in the making. So
yeah, and also you saying the Matrix Resurrections was good.
Yeah, I was torn with your conscience there.
Yeah, so I had to get you back.
Yeah.
I had to get you back. But all right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will do a review on 2014 film Whiplash. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Dwayne from Past the Ox and Life's a Botch podcast. I'm coming to you with a real dope advertisement if you got a moment. Can we do that? Peep this. Yo, you tired of that uncomfortable feeling with your undergarments? You know what I'm talking about. Like, literally having to adjust so it gets real comfortable in between the real safe space. Or maybe just wedgies from just going underneath, you know what I mean? All that. Let's keep it in 100. Y'all know how I'm feeling. Y'all know how that feeling goes. Well, I want to introduce to you the ultimate solution coming from the #1 premium and fit athletic wear just for you. I'm talking about none other than Champ #1 boxers. Champ Number One Boxers is a black-owned underwear brand. Okay, they literally specify in giving you the most top-notch, high-quality, premium, adjustable, and fittable, and totally comfortable undergarment wear that is just for you. Not only is it something that you can wear, feel good in, feel confident in, and love, but it's also high quality, feels good, and most importantly, it is definitely fashionable. Okay, comes in a different, wide variety of so many different styles and themes to these undergarments. Something to make you look good, feel good, and swag real good in the process. All right. So again, did I get to mention that this is also a black-owned brand? It's a black-owned brand, y'all. So if nothing else, definitely go support that 100%. So what I want to do is I want to tell you, head on over to OTS Media Co. on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. If you go over, you click the link in the bios, it'll take you straight to the Champ Number One Boxers website. You can check out all their styles, you can check out their bundle deals, you can check out why this brand exists, what it's all about, and trust me when I say you do not want to miss out on the types of opportunities going on right now on the site. Champ Number One Boxers. Make sure you do it for the champ in your life if you ain't already doing it for yourself, champ. All right? Champ Number One Boxers. Make sure you go cop those. All right? All right.
All right, hey guys, we are back with our feature presentation today, and it's going to be on the film Whiplash, directed by Damien. Excuse me, let me make sure I have his last name pronounced correctly. Damien Chazelle.
Yeah.
And as followed, is about a promising young drummer enrolling at a cutthroat music conservatory where his dreams of greatness are mentored by an instructor who has stopped at nothing to realize a student potential. It stars Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons in the leading roles. And we had the opportunity to watch this film just yesterday. And we definitely had some thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. You just want to go ahead and jump into it, Derek?
Let's jump into it, man. Yeah.
About what you're saying. What did you like about it? What are your dislikes, if you had any?
Ooh. I don't know. So I found it weird that I have not watched this movie yet. I didn't realize this came out 2014. So that kind of threw me off. I thought it was like 2016, 17, something like that. But I can see why it won so many awards. This is just, it was phenomenal. I will say I love J.K. Simmons, man. I love this guy. But there was some he let a couple F bombs go. You know, not 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 hmm, not a word that would be socially acceptable in today's economy. Put it like that.
I know. Yeah, I know what. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what word you're referring to.
Yeah. And that kind of I think he said it about 3 or 4 different times. And I was like, every time I heard it, I was like, ooh. Is like, do you ever go back and watch movies or listen to music and you hear that word dropped? Where it was so, it's kind of weird because like this was recent to where this was just an acceptable thing to say.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you gone back and like listened to anything or watched anything that they've said that and it kind of like hit you different? Like, oh yeah, that ain't
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is less about well, it's definitely less about movies, only
Yeah.
because I feel like nowadays a lot of the movies I tend to watch are a commentary on what you're describing.
Mhm.
And so if those words just so happen to show up,
Mhm.
they're done in a way that isn't said for the sake of shock value.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and but then again, like I said, I don't have any like like immediate recollection of
Yeah.
characters like using derogatory words.
Yeah.
I know like I actually picked up like this huge like omnibus for Doctor Doom, so I'll give an example. And
Mhm.
they use the word. So apologies, I'm not sure like how offensive this actually is, but I do know it's a term that is deemed offensive. The word gypsy, I know isn't socially acceptable as much.
Is it?
At least to my knowledge, and that word was written and used a lot in the early '60s,
Yeah, yeah,
without
yeah,
considering like the harmful effects it has on its community. So
yeah.
it's sort of like interesting
Hmm.
uh to look back on how certain words were used like in scripts,
Hmm.
because even
Hmm.
I was like, oh, like,
Yeah,
and they were used like in 2022.
yeah.
I mean, that scene is being shared all over the internet. But I think it
Hmm.
also, in this particular case, it was unnecessary. You can certainly make the argument, but given the kind of character Fletcher is,
Yeah,
I don't think he's beneath using choice words to get a point across.
yeah. Which
As well,
I found very interesting because that was something that again, that his whole character is a character that um I'm not sure if we would see that in anything today. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that he was so harsh and brutal to Andrew. That was one of the things that dynamic. But I will say that it was very interesting to see how much of an irritant that he was to Andrew, to push Andrew to being what he became. Uh, which I think was his whole point. I think that was his whole point of I forget the name of the artist that he was talking about. But of a musician that was,
Charles Barkley.
yeah, I think so. And with a symbol was thrown in his head or something like that, and then he came back and pushed himself to become greater, and didn't let that aspect deter him. Um, but it was so interesting to see that dynamic of instruct or of mentor and mentee, right? Because you don't when you see like a mentor mentee relationship in films, that is not usually like this. Like the mentor usually will push the mentee, but not to these limits. He pushed him to the limit where it was like bullying and abusive, right? It was like, how do you I think Andrew even asked, like, what do you think the line is? Like, is there not a line that you come to where this is not acceptable? He's like, nah, because you wouldn't become.
Yeah, I think my
You
favorite
could,
line in the entire film is there are no two words more harmful in the England's language than good job.
which I felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it's see, like it's interesting because there are different personality types to where that kind of instruction is it works for them. The other personality types that wouldn't work with. I was trying to put myself in that position. Like, if someone was talking to me like this while I'm pushing myself to the limit, right? Could I take that? Nah. And not because of, like, my feelings get hurt. I couldn't take it because I know I'm just gonna react, and
Yeah.
like I wouldn't want to react because you saw that part where Andrew reacted, right? Like, he actually tackled him and started beating. Like, yeah, that nah, I would have done worse than that. I would have done worse, much worse than that. So I
Yeah.
don't like. It's interesting though to see the limit that Andrew could get to. Um, because it's like I've been around drummers before, but like for someone to push themselves so hard to where their fingers are bleeding on the drums, that's different, bro. I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally pouring your blood and sweat
Yeah,
into your craft.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I think what the film was ultimately about is this obsession with perfection, right? Like, to
yeah.
what end are we willing to go in order to be the absolute best?
Right.
And I think sort of seeing Andrew change from this very like shy, quiet person um into someone who exudes a bit more confidence
Hmm.
um was sort of, I don't know, I guess almost depressing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see in one of my favorite shots in the film where they pan in on his father,
Mm-hmm.
and he has this like very like horrified look on his face, wondering like, what does my son become? Like, what has Fletcher done to him?
Mm-hmm.
To make him, you know, like make him feel actual pain, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in Andrew's case, I think he sort of adapted to that pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
means that he can actually achieve perfection.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, this film was fantastic,
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, but
In that
like
regard.
the theme of it though is what? Like it's striving for, like you said, perfection, but like being the best at your craft. Like it's
Yeah,
like what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that ultimate goal, right? Like he
yeah,
sacrificed a relationship with this girl that he really liked, which took me back to like when I first started like dating, like that whole awkward that exchange with him and her at the counter, right? Like her name was Nicole, I think. Um to ask her out to just pizza. And like you can see like their exchange when they're sitting down eating pizza, like what's on his mind. What's on his mind is being great. And what she was more so like laid back, like I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm just kind of like going through the motions of college to see what it is that I want to study. And you could see that they were just like total opposites, right? And the more he gave to her, the less he was able to give to his craft, right? And it's like he realized that when he lost the position in the band, and it's like, okay, nah, I gotta let this go. I gotta she's not the one for me, because I like you need to have someone. That's the very interesting part about this, of like when you're in a position um to get your like achieve your goals. Like you have to have someone that's willing to ride with you, right? And he saw early on she was not someone to ride with him. She was just someone that was going to distract him. And it's like, are you willing to actually make that sacrifice of what it is you want for what it is you are trying to achieve?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, are you willing to abandon like intimacy and at the expense of being lonely forever?
Right, right. But see,
Yeah,
like his dad was kind of like that kind of part, which is weird to say, but like that's kind of like how I saw it. Like his dad was that I don't know, that balance, that grounding type of thing for him. Because every time it was like things were starting to get hard, that's he's he's going to his dad, right?
Potter was at his aid. Yeah,
Yeah, his dad is right there for him. He stocked his apartment, like he's checking up on him and all this other stuff, and he's at these recitals or shows or competitions. I don't know what you want to call them. But he was there every single time, and even when at toward the end where Fletcher really went off on him, that was actually the petty in me was impressed with that. I am not gonna lie,
yeah.
the
I mean,
petty in me was impressed with that.
yeah.
That was very well done.
Seeing Fletcher forced him to play a song, play a piece of music he's
Without,
never seen, heard, or obviously played before.
but that was his revenge.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you made me
peak
lose my
pettiness.
job, so I'm gonna
I'm
cost
going to
you
ruin your reputation.
career. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it was perfect. But that was the throwing of the symbol at his head type of moment, because he took that, left, his dad hugged him, and he was like, nah, I gotta go back, I gotta do this.
yeah.
And he went
Play
out.
Caravan.
Bro, I was impressed. I was like, you know what, look, if you're gonna go out, you better go out swinging.
I and here's the thing. I I do want to like comment on the editing and directing because
Mm-hmm.
it is immaculate. And
Yes. Yes.
as someone who knew from the get go, this was Damien Chazelle's directorial debut.
Was it?
I am
Wow.
amazed at the shots he accomplished. But his editing choices were so precise and
Mm-hmm.
purposeful,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the final drum sequence where
Oh,
you see, oh my goodness, I mean, you see the cymbal crashing, you
yeah.
see like the camera panning like horizontally across the screen, like following each
Mm-hmm.
member of the band. And
Mm-hmm.
then my favorite moment was when the camera pivots back and forth with
Oh,
Fletcher
between Fletcher and
conducting,
yeah.
goes to Andrew playing, back to him once again. And
Yeah.
under normal circumstances, you could have easily just done, a bunch of overhead shots,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
only close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
But what Damien does so perfectly is that he blends everything together
Yeah.
because he has those overhead shots. He does have
Mm-hmm.
extreme close-ups because I think for us, like I was getting tense.
Oh, me too.
Like I couldn't even imagine sustaining that tempo
That was a
that long.
crazy tempo.
Like to see
That was
all the sweat and blood pouring out of his hands
yeah.
was insane.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like oh my goodness, like I think this is probably like the most tense I felt in
It
a
was
movie for the longest time. To tell
yeah.
you the truth,
And I was waiting. I was like, when is this solo gonna end? Because it was like it was long, but to your point, some of the shots that he grabbed during that sequence, like he's going from I don't know drums, so don't like
neither
sue
do
me.
I.
But he's going from like he's cutting like not cutting, but switching between the cymbals and the drum, like every part, like so you feel like you're Andrew, right? Like you're
Yeah,
going through all this motion, and it feels so chaotic, but so like
succinct in a weird way.
euphoric. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
it was weird because it's like you're going through all of this and you could feel the tempo speed up and it's just like yo like bro slow down
yeah.
like
And
what
what
the
I
hell.
yeah, and what I love too, and it's funny because all the main sequences where Andrew plays, I'm talking about like his solos, they're
Mhm.
all edited differently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're meant to show different signs into how he's progressed as a musician or as a drummer
yeah, yeah.
as well. So the end is pretty much very obviously that the culmination
Mm-hmm.
of everything he's learned from Fletcher, but
Mm-hmm.
also, the fact that he still spent time and time again, I mean, playing the drums,
Yeah, yeah.
because like I said, it's that obsession with perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could have very easily, set aside, his, I would argue his hate for Fletcher, part hate for Fletcher, but
Mm-hmm.
I think deep down he also has an appreciation because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
without,
And
being
respect.
in Fletcher's band to begin with,
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew would have never, kept that, maintained that passion for drumming,
Right.
you yeah, and yeah, it's just I can go like keep going back and forth because like this film has so much to say and does it in great. It does it in a great fashion. Like
Yeah.
it's astonishing. This film is
But
astonishing.
it's again, it's one of those things like you're able to see like what it actually takes to be great, right? Like it's endless hours of repetition and like I think I'm moving away from that space of perfection, being a perfectionist, right? I'm trying to. It's so hard. But as a perfectionist, that's one of those things like you're always trying to tweak. You're trying to figure out like how you can get better and what you need to work on, right? And that's all Andrew was doing. Like every time he's in the thing, he's just going, he's just going, he's just going, he's going, and blood all over his drum kit, everything, just like sweating and all this stuff, right? But it's just him just playing, and I couldn't tell if he was in his apartment at times or if he was in with the studio. I couldn't tell at certain signs, but like as the movie progresses, it looks like he's in an apartment. But I was
Yeah,
trying to think, I was like, how do you play the drums in an apartment? Like, does that's the one thing that annoyed me about this. Because like realistically, you're not playing drums in an apartment, bro. You're just not. You're not. You're gonna get so many complaints so fast. And at his obsession level, that's like a basketball player having wooden floors in their apartment and just constantly dribbling,
yeah,
crossover. Like you can't do that. Not in an apartment.
yeah. Well, I think he soundproofed his room as well.
You can't soundproof a floor, bro.
Yeah, probably. That is true.
Like if and I'm thinking about like is he like on the second or third floor? Like
Yeah, I
and if
think he
that
also.
happens,
Yeah, I think in the opening scene he was definitely he was. I want to say he was playing at a school,
he was definitely playing in
right?
school.
He was playing at
He was
playing
definitely
at
playing in
school.
school.
I also love the opening shot
That
because
was
it's
amazing.
obviously like pans down the hallway
Yeah.
and it's obviously like in many ways we're Fletcher seeing
Right.
Andrew, play away at the drums. Um, Something I did want to ask because I think Fletcher was honestly testing, Andrew's dedication
Mm-hmm.
to the band, but also wanted to see him reach his fullest potential.
Yeah,
Do you do you think he stole the folder?
I do. And that's never shown. But he was he was doing everything he could to mess with Andrew. To that was the one thing and I forgot to go to like look back and see because I meant to rewind, but it was one of those things that's what I thought too, is that he took the folder when he wasn't looking as he was getting his soda just to mess with him because nobody else is in the hallway.
Yeah, and did you also hear the foreshadowing he said?
No,
The scene before he said, "If I see one of these folders lying around, so help me God."
no, I missed that.
Yeah,
Okay,
or something along
okay,
those lines. So yeah, I think he purposely stole the folder to reward for Andrew to earn that spot. I
yeah.
also love how that comes to fruition again
Mm-hmm.
in the I want to say yeah I think it would have been the second because I think how many competitions were there? There were three competitions, right?
Three, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, and then the third one, was obviously where he says to him, "Don't the only reason why you became a core member is because you misplaced
yeah.
because you misplaced a
Yeah,
folder."
that's true. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, someone was like that where he was like constantly tormenting him,
Yeah,
and or even the time where he purposely brought in Connolly or whatever, and
yeah,
he had to
yeah,
play double time, and he
yeah,
said, "You know what? That's perfect."
yeah,
And then he immediately walked out.
yeah.
Because like I said, I think he saw something in Andrew from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think oh sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go.
Oh no, I was gonna say because I think compared to some of his previous I think honestly he reminded him of Sean,
I think so too.
the one student who
Yeah,
unfortunately who passed away and it was revealed at a later point that he committed suicide
yeah,
because he had been suffering from anxiety and depression um potentially caused by Fletcher.
yeah.
So I think, and obviously he gave that lie saying he died in a car accident instead. But yeah, I think in many ways Andrew reminded him of Sean
Mm-hmm.
because as soon as like he was describing Sean, like he was very like quiet, skinny kid. I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure like this is. I mean,
Yeah,
my is like the physical appearance. I mean, this is pretty much who Andrew was.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Look,
so
I
I
mean,
think
he
yeah,
looked just like he was describing him for sure. It's when you have someone that you could tell from the jump that he was connected to Andrew, like off rip. He didn't want to show it because he wanted to try and push him to be like that great level. And I could respect the I could respect
philosophy.
the philosophy. I can't respect the method.
Agreed. And I think
Like the
yeah,
means by what like how he actually went about all that, it was disrespectful as hell, man.
Yeah,
Like you can still get that type of response from someone without going that far.
yeah,
He
and
went far.
yeah,
And
it's
he was talking about his parents. How what's your mom? What's your dad do? What's your
yeah,
mom do? Oh, and then he used it right against him,
usually right, yeah.
like 2 10 minutes, like 10 minutes later, right? Something like that.
And I think in many ways that was purposeful because I
It
think
was.
he wanted to test sort of Andrew's um what's the word I'm looking for? Like Andrew's strength, right? See
Yeah.
like, how much he can actually take before he breaks down, or
Yeah.
if he's actually capable of breaking down.
Yeah.
And that's why he said, you know what, stop right there. And I think in Fletcher's mind, he thought to himself, okay, now that I made him that upset, I can guarantee you he's going to be working his you know what off every
Mm-hmm.
single day. So when
Mm-hmm.
the time comes and he has to step up as a core drummer, he'll be ready. And
Yeah.
he obviously came away with first place in one of the first competitions. So
Wild.
yeah, his methods were extreme though. I mean, just the
They
way he
were.
talked down, even like the opening, like one of the first scenes with him
Oh
where he was speaking to the trauma, like speaking to the trauma, and he was like, this is like a terrible joke. What he said was a terrible joke. But when he said like what are you looking at? It like there's no Mars bars down
Mars
there.
bar, yeah.
And he said,
Yeah.
do you think you're out of tune? And he's like, yes. It's like, then why didn't you say so?
Yeah.
And then right after he leaves the room, he says, oh, and for the record, you were out of tune, but he didn't know, and
Yeah.
that's bad enough.
But
So
see that, like, that was very interesting. But you know
yeah,
what made that part even more interesting?
yeah.
What about the guy that was actually out of tune? Did he know he was out of tune, or did he just not fess up?
He probably just didn't confess, more than likely.
Because
Yeah.
like that wasn't something that was formally addressed.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume he got
He
that
knew.
tune right away.
Because it was weird, man. Like that was wild. That was wild. I mean, again, I can respect the level, the intensity that he operated on. I just It's just the means by which he went about it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was wild, man. That was wild. I'm telling you right now, you talk about my parents, bro.
Oh yeah, he said he was like whose mommy left daddy. He is now weeping and slobbering all
He
over my
brought that
girl.
up 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we are. Oh my god, yo, I had.
He literally called him a, and I quote, weeping willow uh shit stack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As like, oh my gosh.
He threw out insults I had never
Yeah.
heard before, man. That was just
Yeah.
that was very interesting. But it would have been nice to, I think, also get his background a little bit. Like, was he military?
Yeah, I
What
think
happened? How did he get into music?
true. I think for me, that'd be the least for me anyways, that'd be the least interesting questions to have answered.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I just like the idea of someone be I'll put it this way. There's no reason that we should know more than the characters because I think like what the
That's a good
character
point.
like who the characters see is who Fletcher is. The
Right.
only time we've seen him sort of like move away from that persona was in the nightclub, right? And
Yeah.
Andrew and Fletcher are having this civil conversation. I'm assuming, they've forgiven one another.
Mm-hmm.
After Andrew tackled him publicly on stage.
Yeah.
Fun fact though, J.K. Simmons broke his collarbone during that scene.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Broke his collarbone or something else entirely. But he stayed in character though, so I
He
think a lot of what
did.
he said was he's like get off of me, like literally like, get off of me, like literally my collarbone is shattered right now. Like I need the medical assistance, but
Yo, that, yeah. See, I can respect it because you didn't see the pain in his eyes.
Oh, you saw the anger in his
You
eyes.
saw anger.
Yeah,
You didn't see pain. Like,
yeah. Or maybe he's
yeah,
angry at being at being in pain.
probably.
Yeah, I think I guess like to wrap up. I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, there's nothing wrong with this movie.
No,
To tell you the
no,
truth, like
no.
this may be one of the best films I've ever seen.
It was very well done, very well shot, very well written, um, directed. Like every element of this movie, close. That's closest to perfection that you can get.
Yeah, ironically.
Ironically, that is as close to perfection as you can get. I would love to have seen what the director cut it, what the director cuts were,
Oh god, this would have been another 30 minutes of Usher hurling insults at every member of the band.
bro. And like the level of dedication you just got hit by a truck, bro, and not a pickup truck. That's like
Semi
one of
truck.
those. Yeah, like he got hit, grabbed his
Crawled out,
crawled out,
grabbed
grabbed
his
his
suit,
sticks
and
and
said, "No,
ran.
don't worry about it.
Bro, nah, man, nah.
You're done."
That's yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So I'm assuming rating wise,
Oh, yeah, 5 out. This is like the easiest 5 out of 5.
yeah, yeah. I'm going 5 as well. This just it was just
It was immaculate. Like I don't think I've seen a better. I mean, I said before, I think 9 days is
oh
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
9 days up there. But like when it comes between this 9 days, like both of them are obviously very different. But man,
Yeah.
like I think those are really the only true like the first two. Really? Oh no, sorry, my dog dropped something. Like the first two perfect movies I've ever seen. Like
Very
genuinely.
well. I'm actually gonna buy this on Blu-ray.
No, most definitely. I need to buy so much on Blu-rays
Yeah,
nowadays, and this physical
yeah,
media is just fading away, and
yeah. They're
it is
cheaper too, but it's also like
yeah.
it's just good to have a physical copy of it. I have the standard version and the Blu-ray version of the Dark Knight trilogy. Don't ask me why.
Hey, do what you have to do, right?
Don't
That's
ask me
my
why, man.
choreography. It's fire,
It's literally just because of the Dark Knight. That's it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, man, I thought I had nothing else to say about this, but it was a phenomenal movie. Loved it, absolutely loved it. I would not mind watching this again.
Oh, yeah, neither do I.
I'm
And
definitely gonna buy it.
yeah, and for anyone who's listening or watching, it's literally just came out on HBO Max. I want to say yesterday because I did not see that movie. I was looking for the longest
Oh, really?
the where it was going to be, like where when
Hmm.
it was going to come out on
Hmm.
streaming service, but I'm thinking I might buy like a Blu-ray or 4K version of this.
Yeah. No, it's
But
phenomenal.
it's a beautiful looking film, all things considered.
Yeah, yeah. There's
You know,
nothing. There's nothing wrong with this movie,
yeah.
and it ended the right way too. Like
Oh my god, yes. This like the final zoom in
finally,
shot.
finally, get a
Yeah.
movie that starts right and ends right. I am like I'm with it. That was very well done. Very well done. Very well done. Yeah, man. Well, uh, I guess that wraps it up for today, doesn't it?
Yeah, productive
Yeah.
day. We had
I
had a
great.
little El Camino debate.
Yeah, man.
Talked
You
about
can't
Game
ask
of
for
Thrones
more.
for a bit. We talked about Prey and Day Shift. So yeah, I
Yeah.
say this is a good ass episode to
Oh, most definitely.
come back on.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And look, might as well just go ahead and give everybody socials, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be Matt underscore T 29 over on Instagram. But you can also find me over on a new podcast I'm doing with a close friend of mine, Peyton Barker. It's called Boom Squad, and we're just a video game podcast talking about video game news, talking about different types of video games. We're also looking to get into some new streams. So if you're looking to go ahead and watch and listen to something different besides realistic, go ahead and check us out. And as always, thank you for support here as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can find me at Derrick underscore OTS. That's DERRICK. But more so, again, please just follow the brand at OTS Media Co. All social media platforms. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on YouTube. And we thank you guys for watching and or listening. And we'll catch you guys next week. Get well, Bianca.
Peace. Feel better, Bianca.